Big story. Corey Popham on the right, 8 goals against, but you can credit the defense of Princeton for that number. 25, Kevin Healy, very strong, big, much bigger than their starter last year. He is probably the best goalie right now in the Final Four.
Healy is. Popham's been struggling in the playoffs.
Here's a fast break off the faceoff. They didn't get a shot. Hoxted did not take it, but just as we suggested, Haggerty squirted the ball out for a faceoff.
Haggerty loves the reverse clamp, and that's a move where he pushes the ball forward to himself. And he's so quick, he's built low, scoots down for the fast break. He loves to pop it to himself.
Maryland in the red with the black shorts and Princeton in the all-white. Easy to distinguish these teams as Hahn starts the ball behind. He is the true finisher. Maryland, a lot of interchangeable parts as far as these 6 offensive players are concerned. Big shot from out front by Zeller, and backed up beautifully.
Princeton's defense, they will let you dodge down the side. As you dodge down the side, your angle decreases. So they encourage you to dodge down the side. They protect the middle of the field so well.
Zeller comes back to set a pick for Whipple. Number 1 is the quarterback on this team, played by John Harrington. He's got to be the guy to handle it. That is when they're most successful. This is Raiden up top, got a great right hand, comes down left. Overhand shot and comes off of Popham. So Popham made a nice block there, but here comes Maryland again. Back behind to X. They're going to put pressure. Big shot coming here. And Popham makes a sensational save. Right in his stick, actually, the shot. Not a huge test by Bill Rule, but Popham has blocked 2 to start this game.
And coming off a rough game against Syracuse, he actually played a great 4th quarter. But key for his confidence, make those 2 big saves early. Give your defense some confidence in your ability in the cage, and also get comfortable with these Maryland shooters.
So, as always, Princeton will give you possessions, but they rarely give you the good shot or the goal. And so far, that's been the case. Hoxted with a great check to get it back. Now controls. He's being double-teamed. Continues to hold the ball. Finally gets it back to Zeller, who gets stripped there by the defense of Princeton. They are all over you if you stand. One more time. Rule comes up. Goes for the corner. And Bill Rule was trying to light up the upper left.
Bill Rule and Bob Hanna, number 35 from Maryland, they are absolute cannons from the outside. They can shoot the ball about 95 miles an hour. Take a look at Bill Tierney, 4 national championships, his 13th season at Princeton. Just a terrific winning percentage, around 77%. They win close ball games in the NCAAs.
Zeller with Lawrence Smith playing defense against him, just loses the ball. Maryland picks it up again. Whipple being charged from behind. He gets inside, and Popham makes another block. Nice save by Popham. Nice sliding defense by Barrier and Smith all over Whipple. They're attacking the short sticks. This is Smith, the great offensive player. That's the goalie, Popham.
Watch the save again. He just holds his ground here. Nice size goalie. Doesn't have much angle to shoot at there, and Whipple bounces the ball off the shoulder of Popham. Right now you can see Princeton's defense very aggressive. They love the double teams. Maryland's got to make that extra pass. 2 or 3 passes.
Big shot from out front. Maryland draws first blood. And it's a rocket from Zeller. He had Lawrence Smith playing defense. They had Lawrence Smith, their offensive star, playing a lot of D down there. The whole team was looking to back up, but it was a radar shot that just hit the top, and 1-0 Maryland leads.
Zeller is fantastic on the right-handed sweep. Here he is, just driving right-handed. And when you're on the run like that, it's tough to pick up the ball coming out of his stick. 20 goals on the season. He was kind of quiet in the semifinals. He had a huge quarterfinal game, 3 goals against Hopkins, including the game winner in overtime. He is a playoff player. Last year had a terrific NCAA tournament.
Well, Barrier comes in to take the second faceoff for Princeton, and just like in the semifinal, when number 1 guy, Barrier rather, didn't do well, it's Baylor that came in and did do well, and Baylor gets the second faceoff of this game. Aggressive checking by Maryland, putting it back on the turf. Lamy gets it back to Maryland. Here they come. Maryland looking to fast break. They got Hanna to the left. Hanna gets it now. Looks inside. Can't get the shot. Defender fell down. For a moment, they had an opening. Luckenheimer lost his footing. Maryland being very selective when their fast breaks, Quint. They're getting the fast breaks, but twice they've elected to pull it back and settle the ball.
You can burn Princeton in transition. Their transition defense, that is not their strength defensively. But that time, I got to give them credit. They got back into the hole. They balanced the field. They kept their eyes open. And Maryland really didn't have anyone open in front. You can see the patience of Maryland, though. They're a smart team. I mean, if it's not there, they're not going to take it. Well, and you can see they like to play the 6-on-6 settle game. They can do it all.
Hoxted anxious to let one fly there. They learned from last year, of course. They got really shelled by Princeton, and that one has been sitting on their minds for a full year. They are not going to be as aggressive in the offensive end. They'll pick their spot. 1-0 they lead, first quarter action. Lee Fesmo, Quint Kesenick with ESPN coverage of Division I lacrosse championship play. So now, no real hard shot in that offensive set. Typical Princeton defense, just gave you time on the clock, but no great shots. They bring it down.
We're 4 minutes into this game, and this is the first offensive possession for Princeton. Maryland really dominating in the time of possession.
Mike Bonanni gets the assignment on Hubbard. Behind the goal, Casey Connor, young sophomore against Hess, who really is the key to the offense.
John Hess, he's the quarterback, 35 assists, operates from behind the net. That's a primetime matchup. You stop Hess, you can really stifle the rest of their attack. The offense flows through Hess.
Hubbard right there with Bonanni. Bonanni, again, the spiritual leader of this defense, 5-year man who is now in his graduate school, 3.7 GPA at Maryland. Taking a lot of time. Seamus Grooms, who had 2 goals, gives it behind. Here comes Massey. Massey's looking for help up top. You'll see a shot coming here. Sims moving, shoots, and it comes off the defense. They did a great job of blocking the shot. It didn't even get through to Healy. Here goes Maryland, looking for help. Good run and gun by Jeff Burnham. Burnham getting turned back by Massey, and he'll be clubbed there. Massey picks up the ball.
Going to be a 10-second violation against Maryland. Nice job by Chris Massey cutting off Burnham. Burnham was forced to turn. You've got 10 seconds to get the ball out of the defensive box. Nice hustle. We've seen both teams, they ride, they forecheck extremely hard, they generate second chance opportunities.
Maryland now sets up their defense as Princeton gets Rob Torrey in there. Young freshman, number 1, as the ball moves behind and all around. They are taking time to get some fresh legs on the field.
Second midfield for Princeton. It's Whaling, Torrey, and they'll rotate that third spot.
Right now, Street. This is Hubbard, the big right-handed shooter. Torrey now comes in, tries to get Shirk picked off. And double team there, but he still has the ball. Hess way up top. This will be trouble. Shot and a nice block on the foot by Healy.
I think Shirk, number 37 for Maryland, got a piece of that as Massey let the left-handed crank go. Maryland doing a nice job getting to the Princeton shooters at the last second.
Ball coming into Hubbard. Hubbard behind the back. Ball down again on the field. Can they get the loose ball? Princeton all over him, riding hard. They push it up, and Torrey will bring it down. Princeton riding hard and really have had a nice long possession going here on about their 3rd minute of constant offense.
Shirk had Pasqualina up the sideline. He elected to just heave the ball, and Torrey had dropped back on defense. He was right there.
Hess turned into a little bit of a shooter. Watch the big shot here by Whaling. He is a defensive tackle in football. Loses about 25 pounds to come in here and play tough lacrosse for Princeton. Mark Whaling.
Actually an all-Ivy selection, defensive tackle, the captain here in lacrosse as well. One of the leaders, one of the senior leaders of this Princeton squad.
Connor trying to keep a stick in the face of John Hess. John Hess, not a huge target, 5'10", but boy, can he control the ball. Princeton now on a long run here of control. Ball behind, Shirk playing defensive dribble with the ball. He's taking his time. A freshman, one-on-one, going to short stick. The slide by Bonanni blocks the feed, and Bonanni stays with him. Bonanni loves to come hard. Number 27, watch him. He calls a lot of the plays in there. He'll call the defensive sets, taking that pressure off of Healy. Only a sophomore. Healy is in the goal. Rob Torrey behind the goal. Now he's got a short stick defender against him, Kevin Pasqualina. Up top, Whaling trying to get a good position for his shot.
Nice defense by Maryland. They're not playing over-aggressive on the ball. The midfielders, the defensive midfielders, Pasqualina and Shirk behind the cage will be tested in this set.
Again, to push all the way across, and here comes Maryland with a loose ball. But again, Princeton, as they have done 3 straight times, they're riding hard and keeping Maryland from clearing.
That's the 4th chance right now on this offensive possession. This has been about a 5-minute offensive possession. Actually, a 4-minute, and now Princeton will put their first midfielders back on the field. So this game started with Maryland controlling the first 4 minutes. Princeton has come back to control the next 4 minutes as we're halfway through the first quarter.
Both teams showing a lot of patience, trying to pick their spots to get good pressure on the goalies. Popham's been tested several times. 1 goal so far from Maryland. Ball picked off as they passed across, but again back to Princeton, who throws it out of bounds. Uncharacteristically, Lawrence Smith tried to sneak it into Massey. Massey was a little handcuffed. Ball goes out of bounds.
It was a little too close. Bonanni with the nice stick in the lane. He deflected the ball. But Maryland now with a fourth clearing chance that has failed. A little sloppy passing by Eric Osberg and Brian Reese. So they're forced to play defense. Again, it's got to be tiring for this Terrapin defense.
Can't give Princeton this many shots at an offensive opportunity. They will hit the net. Lawrence Smith brings it in. He was the midfield star, really an attackman who didn't want to sit on the bench behind the great attack, became a midfielder. Massey gives it back to John Hess. John Hess marked by the defense of Casey Connor. John Hess comes around, he can shoot. He has worked on being more of a shooter this year. Goes low, Healy blocks it, can't find the ball, finally does. Looks for an outlet. Crease violation. Let's see if they call push.
Benani dumped John Hess into the crease when Healy had the ball. That'll be interference. Big time save by Healy, but you can see Connor is struggling with Hess. Hess is very quick, and on this wet surface, it rained earlier. Connor's having problems keeping up with Hess. His quickness is really a factor.
Ball way out front now, and Lawrence Smith with a great size advantage gets double teamed. He comes inside still, finds the lower left corner, and after a 6-minute possession, Princeton ties it. Surgical precision, confidence of a champion. It's 1-1.
Lawrence Smith unassisted. That's a look at Christian Cook. The defender is out of the game. Lawrence Smith, last year a first-team All-American, his 20th goal of the season. Here it is again. Just slides through the double team, bears in. It looked like Healy got a piece of that, but Princeton's on the board after just a terrific offensive possession. Lawrence Smith, 6'3", 190. Watch him use his size right here, and he slices through that double team. He can be in so many ways. He's very dangerous off the ball as a cutter. That time you can see his dodging ability. We're tied up at 1.
Haggerty on the next face-off. It really was picked up initially by Baylor, but Haggerty chased him down. No fast break, but another possession for Maryland. Now it's been a while since the ball's been back here. Let's see what they do. Scott Hockstead takes the ball behind. Haggerty still on the field, and Pasqualina takes it from him. Now they'll change. Haggerty will come off the field. Brian Haggerty goes off. Frank Radin, 16 with the ball. Here comes a little bit of motion. Zeller running. Down low to Andrew Whipple. Then the Hahn off the pipe. Hahn was there for the shot he wanted, and he just hit the pipe. Princeton doing a great job of moving the ball upfield.
Got a flag down. It's going to be a foul against Maryland. Their attack is very physical. Hockstead, Hahn, and Whipple love to ride. They love to forecheck. That looks like it's going to be a hold. Watch the save. I think he got a piece of it, and then the ball hit the post. Zeller tried to come up with a loose ball, and there's going to be some kind of holding violation in here. I think it's against 24 Hockstead. Let's see right here. No, actually, it's against Radin right there. That's going to be a holding violation as he takes down the Tiger. So Princeton will go on the extra man. Very dangerous extra man unit for Princeton. 39 to 40% on the season. These guys can light it up.
So Maryland puts themselves in a real pressure situation here. Sims out front. This is Hubbard and Smith on the far side. Hess in front, easy shot, nobody on John Wynn. And Wynn cranks in goal number 2. Princeton scores 2 straight. This one an extra man play. Maryland put themselves in a bad spot there. Princeton gets their first lead of the day.
Princeton was 3 for 6 on their extra man. Watch the pinpoint passing. Wynn just finds the seam of the defense. Maryland's extra man defense not very strong. Teams are scoring about 35% on them. Again, Hess to Wynn. It doesn't get any easier than that. That is a tough unit to stop. They've got the 5 stars we talked about, plus that man right there, John Wynn, 13th goal of the season. Most of those goals happen on the extra man. He's tough inside. You've got to stop him and then worry about the outside shooters like Hubbard and Massey.
Haggerty again comes up with the faceoff against Matt Baylor, and good success by Brian Haggerty from our Nike face-to-face. We knew he would be important. But the critical thing here, Quint, and we talk about it all the time, Princeton knows they're going to give you faceoffs and they control the ball, but you've got to get shots and quality shots. That's what they don't give you.
No, they don't. This defense is so tough. The loss of Christian Cook, it's a monumental loss, but it's not a killer loss because this is a team concept, this team defense, this system that Coach Kearney has so effectively used. It's really not based on one man.
Jason Farrell, the new starter, number 45, in the middle of that pack, right there on Hockstead. Frank Radin takes the ball, gives it back to Scott Hockstead. That's the new guy, Jason Farrell, coming in there and takes a big shot. That's Hockstead, and it's swept to the right. Popham looks very strong. He's had a couple early ones that actually hit him easier saves, and he got strong with those early saves.
He did, and he played well in the fourth quarter of the semifinal. He really bared down. Syracuse, remember, only scored 1 goal in that fourth quarter. Today, this is the best I've seen Corey Popham play this season.
Jason Farrell playing on Scott Hockstead, who gets in front of the goal a lot on these sets. As Zeller behind, nice check. Beautiful check by Princeton. They put it on the floor. Seamus Grooms just spotted his check and put it down. Maryland showing the aggression we talked about. They really ride hard. Both teams do. Ball will stay here. Maryland possession. They're in the red with the black. 2-1 Princeton leads first quarter.
Zeller, a lot of quickness. 5'10", 200 pounds. He likes to lean in, give you a bump, and then either sweep for the right hand or dip underneath. Take a look at the shots right now. Maryland with 9. Popham's done a great job. Princeton with 6. And one of the longest offensive possessions early on in the first quarter that I've ever seen. They really control the ball efficiently.
Frank Radin coming down, giving it back to Zeller. So they've inverted a little bit here and don't handle it cleanly. Scott Hockstead could not pick it up. They'll try to get it back to him. Push call.
Hubbard.
Against Hubbard, I believe.
Gave Benani a little bump. Benani sensed the pressure on his back and just fell to the grass. The key there is Benani got the inside position. He got to the line first. He stepped in front, and Hubbard was forced to push him.
Maryland not showing the precision they had in the semifinal against Loyola. A little bit tight, as you might expect in a championship game. This is Zeller. He's got good speed, gets inside barrier, takes the hard shot. Popham again with a block. He has been sensational. The story early on is Popham making about 4 saves when he only had 8 the whole game before.
Popham's got his body in the right spot. He does not catch the ball very often and gives up a ton of rebounds, but right now, he's the difference in this ball game. He's made about 5 brilliant stops. That time, Zeller got some good velocity behind that right-handed shot.
Well, he's credited with 4 saves and only 2 for Healy, who's had tougher shots on him. Princeton really taking their time down there. Massey showing great speed, and he's being ragged hard by the big stick of Brian Reese. Seamus Grooms, 23, had a big day yesterday. Number 23 had 2 goals. Mark Whaling gets it up top. That's Josh Sims. This is a good unit, #1 unit for Princeton. Grooms comes in, goes high. They're going to call for a push or a crease violation.
Crease violation.
Far referee looked like he was getting ready to call a push. Near referee, we got a crease violation.
Yeah, they were looking at each other, wondering who was going to blow their whistle. But Shirk does a nice job keeping Seamus Grooms underneath. That is a low percentage shot, really a turnover. There's nowhere for him to go right there.
See if they get this clear going. They've had trouble getting it past. Now a settled clear, no problem. The unsettled clear, Princeton has been all over them. 2-1, you see the score, they still lead. There's a 1-0 score for Maryland, and then 2 straight for Princeton, the last of an extra man play. Marcus LaChapelle. Maryland's still trying to get one of their A shots. Chris Malone.
They'll need 2 or 3 passes to get one of those A shots. Princeton is so aggressive defensively. They double and triple team. You've got to draw the double team and kick it to a teammate, and usually it takes 2 or 3 passes, not just 1.
Whipple has Harrington on him. Gives it back to Chris Malone. This is a freshman that's really added some punch and depth to the midfields. Scott Hockstead has really been the all-around guy. We focused on him. He's number 24 right now. He has been the big-time shooter for Maryland. Tries to go far side. That's exactly the pass that Princeton wants you to try to make, and they pull it right down.
It's tough to throw through so many of those long defensive sticks.
And here comes Seamus Grooms. Hubbard. Big matchup there, Jason Carrier. Massey will control the ball for a little while. He's got a load on him. That's Chris Lamey. Lamey from Maryland, 6'5".
They've got to try to get Lamey matched up with Josh Sims right here. This is a mismatch. Sims has got great speed.
Well, Sims was caught on the field there against Pasqualina. Like the matchup.
Sims is going to run by Pasqualina or Osborg or Shirk. They've got to get a long stick, either Reese or Lamey, up to cover number 4, Josh Sims, that man right there. Blinding speed. Keeps it simple. He just puts it in a full gear, puts the turbo on, and runs right by it.
I'd be tempted to slide early on him because, he's not showing very many assists. He's not looking to assist. He's just cranking it up. I'd send the park off after.
I agree. He's got 4 assists on the season and almost 70 shots. So really, almost 9 times out of 10, he's going to let it go. He's not looking to a teammate.
Less than a minute, as you can see in the first quarter. Princeton with that 2-1 lead on 2 straight goals after Maryland got the early goal in this championship game. Rematch of last year, but a much different setting. Princeton was off to such a quick lead last year against a team that of Maryland players that had to fight uphill the whole championship bracket.
They were a Cinderella story in '97, Maryland. They beat Virginia by a goal. Then they beat Syracuse by a goal in a semifinal game. A great high-scoring game. Took a lot out of them. They had nothing left for the Princeton Tigers.
Hochstedt draws a foul. Now they're going to try to get a shot up top. You'll have one here if they can get inside. Zeller can't find room. They'll get a free shot. Now they have to look about possession, Quint. They'll have a penalty if they get a shot here. Big shot and a foul after that. Almost Frank Braden got ripped to the ground after he took a high shot. And it'll be a personal foul or a hold call, they'll say, against Hochstedt.
Maryland should hold the ball here, and then they will get the ball to start the second quarter. There's 7 seconds left. If they hold it, if it's in their stick here as time runs out, they will possess the ball in the second quarter. I doubt they will attack right away.
Andrew Whipple just walked up, talked to the guys, made sure they were all on the same page about what they're going to do here. But Q had it right on the numbers. If you had the ball in your stick, the key here is maybe some, the ball has to be in your stick. If you're throwing it from one guy to the next and it's in the mid-flight between them, you lose the ball, and then you have to go to a face-off next quarter. Watch out, Hochstedt. He slipped, but did not lose the ball to Harrington. That's how the first quarter will end. When the second quarter starts, they'll have an extra man and possession. Right now, Princeton leads by 1. It's a low-scoring game with the championship on the line. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At National Car Rental, we believe that when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. Because at most major airports in America, National gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental.
You know when you're traveling, you look for things you know. That's why it's always so good to see the Howard Johnson sign, where kids stay free and get free fun packs featuring Scholastic's The Magic School Bus.
Howard Johnson makes you feel at home.
There's a company out there in the business of moving things. It's not a trucking company. It's not a shipping company. And it doesn't carry packages overnight. It's a company in the business of moving ideas. Be a long distance, wireless, video, internet, directories, and local telephone lines. What's the name of this company? Well, it begins with G, and it ends with GTE.
Run, Billy, run! Run! Billy, run! Billy! Run! Oh, man! Your mom's gonna kill me!
Got a funny youth baseball video? Enter the Blimpie Blooper Contest. Pick up an entry form at your neighborhood Blimpie restaurant.
The NCAA thanks its corporate partners who dedicate financial resources, talent, and expertise to help emphasize the vital role intercollegiate athletics plays in society and in the overall development of student athletes. The support of higher education by these outstanding corporate citizens also provides funding for NCAA youth programs and NCAA championships. The NCAA and its corporate partners, together building a better experience for our student athletes.
Tigers lead 2-1, and the story so far has been excellent goaltending from an unsuspecting source. Popham, has been a great goalie at times this year, Quint, but today been sensational.
He has been sensational. Robbing rule, and then watch him just move his body in front of this Zeller crank from the outside. Gets his face mask on it. If Corey Popham can make about 60% today, Princeton is looking strong. Remember, he had been struggling coming into this game in the playoffs. Only about 40% save percentage in his last 6 games. There has been a goalie controversy at Princeton. Trevor Tierney, the coach's son, is the backup. He had to save this Princeton team in the quarterfinals against Duke.